you have been granted legal immunity.
I appreciate you, Honor. His name Squidward, Squir, Squid, Squidward. I don't know the last name. Whoa, oh God, and I forget who that was.
Deval Patrick.
So basically, your decision is the final decision. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yep. I'm one of the head honchos here at the court.
Now, is this the one in Worcester, or is this the one in surrounding towns, sir?
This is the Worcester Superior Court.
Oh, the one near Lincoln Square, then.
Yeah, it's right on Main Street.
Oh, wow! I'm talking.
It's like right next to the Palladium.
Oh yeah. Okay, wow. So I'm talking to a big shot. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this, sir.
Oh yeah.
So when you said you're a big shot, you weren't kidding.
Not at all.
Now, I have a few questions for you. If someone has a no contact, Your Honor, okay?
Right.
On the place that they used to live, the only one that can take it off is the court. Is that correct, Your Honor?
Yeah, that's correct.
No one else can do that, correct?
Yeah, it can only expire or it can be removed by the court.
Not by anybody else?
Nope.
Okay. Because a few of my friends, I don't mention names, I mention situations, and I always tell them, I'll always call the courthouse because you guys put the no contact on and you take it off. No one else can take it off.
Yeah, it's just us.
So I figured I'd ask one of the big shots and make sure I'm correct. Am I right on that?
Yep.
Okay, another friend of mine, I won't mention names, just mention situation. The landlord of 139 and 137A had the person, didn't want the person up there, but we wanted to go through the police to see if his name was off there, but we weren't sure. Yeah. I figured if I had a judge, I figured I'd ask to make sure that it's always better to ask than to assume, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Don't want to get in trouble.
So you're saying, now when you say you're associate judge, is a regular judge ahead of you or the same thing as you?
Same thing as me.
Oh, okay. So a judge is a judge, associate or otherwise.
Yep.
Okay, well. Oh, okay, yeah. Those are the two questions I had. I figured I of all the times that I was thinking I was talking to a judge, I was like, wow. I was people when they find out it's a judge and they're tongue-tied, they don't know what to ask. Correct?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it.
They're so tongue-tied. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Right. Yeah, because what had happened is the friend of mine had a girlfriend and a baby. That's why I'd asked about those two things. And I didn't want that person up there because this person did a bad thing, but it wasn't reported to catch my drift.
Yeah, of course.
So, but he had left that premises because now. I'm going to mention this, but I'd like you to keep it between you and I, okay?
Yep.
Let's see. So we're in 2023. I think about 4 to 6 years ago, the person did a bad thing to one of the granddaughters, but was never reported to the courts.
Oh, who did this?
I'd rather not mention the person's name, Your Honor. I just want to mention the situation. If you don't mind, please and thank you.
Yeah.
This person's grandmother had passed away, and he did something very naughty, if you catch my drift, Your Honor.
Yes.
And we wanted him to get help through the courts, so it was mandatory, but it never got to you. Luckily, he changed his life. There was attempted rape on the thing, but it was never reported to the courts or to the police, so nothing could be done. Luckily, he turned his life around.
Right.
Because I was very disappointed when my roommate and I saw him do this on the outside. Because normally, you, as a judge, you would like the person to get help, correct?
It depends. It depends on the crime.
Okay, can you give me an example, Your Honor? Sir?
Well, if someone's a murderer, for example, and the circumstances are in cold blood, then we like to punish that person. But if it's like a crime of passion or something, like a man walks in on his cheating wife, we do that a little differently.
Right. That's why I want to do this on the down low, if you catch my drift.
Right.
Because what had happened is his father had molested him when he was younger.
Right.
So he did it when he was older. But lucky he learned his lesson. Because as soon as we found out, we told him, you better get help. Because if it happens again, you're going to be in jail for the rest of your life.
Right. How old was the girl?
Underage.
How underage are we talking here? Are we talking like a kid or a teenager?
About 15, 16 in Massachusetts. If it was reported, he could have gotten in a lot of trouble. Correct?
I see. And this was not consensual?
I don't know enough about that. We don't think it was.
It makes a big difference if it's statutory or forcible.
But we have no. Hold on. But we have no evidence to prove that it wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, absolutely.
And we pulled his pants down and we said to him, "This better not happen again." Correct?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said, if it happens again, it's going to be reported, and whatever the courts do to you, that's your punishment for the rest of your life.
Right. Absolutely.
No joke. And every time we saw him, we made sure that he was going to either wet his pants, and he got the message that if we did it the next time, there would not be a third time. Correct?
Yes, of course.
Because you, as a judge, you wouldn't want that to do to your daughter, your wife, or your kids. That's not a good idea.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
So I told him, I said, you do it the next time, your pants are coming down, and you're going to get the punishment that you should have gotten in the first place.
Absolutely.
We just felt bad.
Well, we are working on a law that will allow people convicted of rape to be removed. So anybody that's convicted of that crime will receive that as a punishment. We are working on a law like that.
But it's been over 7 years, Your Honor. And I thought in Massachusetts and federal, if it's over 710, it's not reported, nothing can get done. Because I had a detective in the police department had told me that.
The statute of limitations for rape in Massachusetts is 15 years, I believe.
Correct. And I believe, do you remember Detective Mark Tibbins?
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Well, when I mentioned about this, Mark had said it was over the 7-year limit. So unless, when it was originally did it to the kid, he was the only that could file charges. I hadn't told Mark that he had done it. And Mark had other cases because Mark retired, Your Honor. Last
Oh,
December.
yeah, I know.
So, and I said to, and this was, all I'm going to mention, his first name is Miles. And I said, Miles, if this happens again, whatever punishment that the courts give you, you have to take it like a man.
Right, of course.
And I didn't, and he was in which I think is 33 now, and this was about 10 years ago. This was a 23, so he's an adult when it happened. And I believe it was a 14-year-old, that, and then the 18. One was, the thing was, I was on the registry myself, Your Honor, but I got off of it because I decided to, because that law, you got to be very careful of, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I said to Miles,
So
you don't want to register.
You were taken off the registry?
I was, 2019.
Oh, gotcha. What was that for?
Well, I was a sex offender 3 myself, Your Honor.
A level 3, okay.
Yes. So I know the.
That's
so
impressive.
when Miles, I didn't hear you.
I said that's impressive.
So I pulled Miles' pants down, Your Honor, not very nicely, when he did that.
Right.
Do you remember?
So what's the story of the case?
Okay, now this is between you and I, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Sheila Remillard was the grandmother. I think her daughter, a while ago, got shot.
Mm-hmm.
She was a great cab driver. Do you remember her?
What did you say her name was?
Sheila Remillard, Your Honor. You
know how the last name is spelled?
Oh, boy, you'd have to ask me, right? She passed away last year in the hospital.
Okay.
Remillard, Remellard. She died of cancer. And basically,
Remillard, okay. Yeah.
And
I remember her.
And Miles was the boyfriend. I said, Miles, you do realize I was on the registry myself. That if someone turns you in and you go in front of a judge, depending on what judge you have, you're going to get your pants pulled down. Is that correct, Your Honor?
Yes, that's correct.
No joke here. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So I told them, if you do it again, your pants are coming all the way down, and if it's you or someone else, they're not going to be nice about it, are they?
Yeah, not at all.
It's not going to be ha ha he he. And part of the problem is a lot of the, and part of the problem with a lot of the sex offenders, when you have 2 addresses, you're supposed to report them to the police, both addresses. Is that the law, correct?
Yeah, you gotta tell the courts where you're at or where you're living at all times.
No joke.
No joke.
And a lot of people were getting away with it, Your Honor. Worcester and surrounding towns.
Yeah, actually, I was actually assigned to help out with a case. There's a former celebrity. He goes by his name is Andy Dick. We actually had him get taken in because he failed to register as a sex offender. He didn't report his address.
No joke.
No joke.
And the person's name was Miles, Miles Brown. And I said, Miles, if it happens again and you go in front of a judge, you're on the registry for 20 years. Because that's the law. That's how they do it. And I said, you were lucky that no one turned you in and that you didn't have to register, correct?
Of course.
And I said to him, you've got to smarten up on that. Am I right on that?
That's right.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, if a person is a sex offender itself, a 2 or a 3, if they're homeless, it's every 30 to 45 days, Your Honor. Is that correct?
Yes.
If they don't do it, you can pick them up at any time and put them in jail at any time. Is that correct?
Yeah, they'll get taken in.
And how long are they in the jail, sir?
It depends on the case.
Oh, if it's an open case, then more or less the book's going to get thrown.
Yeah, they're going to jail.
They're going to get thrown at them. You're going to add more time to them.
Yes, that's right. If they're uncooperative.
And I usually tell them it doesn't make sense to lie because if you're on the registry, all your information is in the computer, the judge already knows. I said, you're lucky no one
Yeah,
turned
of
you
course.
in. So what he did is, I moved from 139 East Ave. I live at 70 Southwood Street, which is across from the old R&B, which is the old Regency Hotel.
Yeah, I know where that is.
So I
Southbridge
said
Towers.
to Miles, right, which is Madison Tower condominium, and I said, Miles, you're lucky no one turned you in, and you had to register.
Right.
Because
Yeah, you got very lucky.
If he didn't register, the federal SOAR and the local SOAR, because Mark was out of that for 20 years, they can come up to the address where he's living and say, if you don't register, you're in there until you do register.
That's correct.
So lucky Miles Brown smartened up and didn't do any more of that stuff. But he was on drugs the time he did it. But that's no excuse, correct?
Yeah, we don't care about that. Crime's a crime.
You mean he's going to do the naughty thing, he's going to do the time, correct?
Exactly. We have we have a no naughtiness policy here.
No joke.
No joke.
Right. And I told Miles, you are so lucky that I did not go down to Mark and have you do it. And his father, Larry Brown, had done this, but it was over 7 years, so he never got the help. So Miles thought, oh, I do it to someone else that makes it right. And even a judge can say, two wrongs don't make it right, correct?
Yeah, that's right. We actually have a case similar to that going on right now in the courtroom.
Really?
Yeah, these two guys from Worcester, named David Snoswell and Robert Jones, they had this guy named Tony Weaver locked up, and we recently just got them arrested.
Right. Really?
They had him kidnapped and everything. They had him like chained up in a basement.
Yeah, because his friend Blaine Nichols is in the same situation, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, who did you say?
Blaine Nichols.
He's been missing for a while. We've been looking for that guy. You said he's with them?
Well, the address that I got was over from Grafton Street to Vernon Street. Do you know what I'm talking about? Union area?
Oh, yeah, I know where that is.
That's where you need to look.
All right. Do you know who's with him?
No, I don't, unfortunately, Your Honor.
Well, we have these guys, Dave and Robert, arrested. They're currently going to trial, but apparently there's a third suspect in the case that we don't know who it is.
Really?
They said his name started with an S or something.
Squidward.
Oh, Dave and Robert had brought that guy up.
Yep.
All right. Do you know how that? Do you know how his name is spelled?
Like in no, this is down low. If you catch my drift and my name stays out of it.
Yeah, we won't implicate you in the case.
We are or are not.
Are not. You have been granted legal immunity.
I appreciate you, Honor. His name Squidward. Squir. Squid. Squidward. I don't know the last name.
Okay. I think it might. All right. Let me look him up in the system here. Looks like we have a last name of Tortellini.
Okay, that's okay. Didn't know his last name. And what address is in the computer between you and I? And it stays between you and I. You catch my drift.
Yeah, I have 24 Standish Street in Worcester.
Now, are you in front of the computer? Is that between Grafton Street and Vernon Street, Your Honor? Yes or no?
Yeah, it's right off of Hamilton Street, actually.
Oh, okay. Because Blaine was trying to get a hold of me that they were doing naughty stuff to him, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you know what they said was happening?
The case that you just said similar situation, Your Honor.
But, okay.
But Blaine's 19 years old. He's an adult. He's not a minor.
Oh, okay.
Which kind of changes things.
We've got these
these guys. On a legal thing, do you follow what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I got you. We have these guys, Dave and Robert. They've been locked up for a couple days now.
Okay.
But they're refusing to cooperate. They're not saying anything. They wanted a lawyer right away.
So that they're doing what we call naughty is naughty, and they're hoping it's going to go away.
Yeah, they're going to go away for a long time for this.
No joke?
No joke. They're looking at 25 years each.
That's 25 to life.
Yeah, 25 to life, both of them.
How long has this been going on with Blaine? About between you and I?
He's been missing for about a year now.
Tony Weaver.
Tony's been. Yeah, Tony Weaver.
Wow, because Tony had told me what was going on, and because of my background, I got to be very careful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
I can counsel on what should and should not be. You should go to the authorities immediately if you suspect something. Am I right? Said that to him?
Yeah. Yeah,
I was the one who told her that should have been done a long time ago.
Yes, no doubt. Yeah, Blaine Nichols has been a missing person for quite some time now.
And we're talking
Mr. Squidward has been on our radar as well.
Right. Do you remember the McDonald's on Main Street, Yolanda?
Who?
The McDonald's on Main Street.
A Donald on Main Street?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, he said that.
That's where a lot of the sexual
manager.
That's where a lot of the sexual nonsense was going up there.
He also mentioned someone named Eugene. Do you know who that is?
Oh, I think it's Eugene Krabs or something like that.
Eugene Krabs, perhaps.
Yep, Krabs. That's it. Yep.
Squidward and Krabs. All right. Yeah, we've had Mr. Krabs on our radar for a while as well.
Because
they've been under investigation.
There was another minor, Gabriel. Remember?
Gabriel. I'm not sure who that is.
It was a refugee from a different country. He was 14, 15 years old, Joanna, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm not too familiar with that, but I can definitely pass it along to the authorities.
And we don't want them going after Tony or Blaine at all. Do I make myself clear, Your Honor, at any cost?
Yeah, no, they're the victims in this case.
So I'm hoping for 25 to life on those three.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
No joke.
Yeah, no joke.
So them getting out now, would they be in the House of Correction, or where are you trying to put them?
Well, they'd be in the House of Corrections pending trial because they have
the only concern I have with that is that Tony doesn't live that far from it, and if Blaine comes back, that he might have on the inside. Is there any way we can get him to another place, sir? Please and thank you.
What was your concern?
Even though they're inside, they might have connections on the outside. They might try to go after them again.
Oh, we're going to put them in the witness protection program.
No joke?
No joke. This is a serious case.
When it comes to
the trial, would you be willing to testify, sir? Get these guys put away?
Well, the only thing, I got to be careful because I'm disabled and I just got off the registry. And some of their friends put me on a YouTube that almost got me in trouble. Lucky I got out of it.
YouTube. What happened?
I don't know if Blaine or Tony told you. There was something about young people, and supposedly they wanted me to get involved in, and I said no, but they did something, so I got to be very careful if I do anything, because my background, the courts might hold it against me.
No, we'll make sure any of that is not submitted. We will grant you immunity, full immunity.
How would you do that?
Well, if you're willing to testify in this case, anything that's happened, we'd be willing to look past, because we've been trying to get these guys for a while.
Because apparently that thing was damaged evidence, and it's on YouTube, and it's like thing, and I need to get that off YouTube because my name's on there. Someone recorded me without permission.
Yeah, we can have that taken down. We have connections at YouTube.
That should have been taken down now. Before I would even willing to do that, that has to be coming down first. I have to have that in writing. Can't have that verbal.
Right.
I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, we would send you a letter in the mail.
Because I have a lot going on. I work at the Genesis, so I got to be very careful how I do that. I don't want that to get back. It's a day program.
Okay. We would be willing to offer you financial compensation for your testimonial.
Is that in written, sir?
Yeah, we could give you a written statement.
And is that signed by you, sir? Yes or no?
Yep. Yes, that's correct.
No joke here.
No joke.
Because I have a lot going on during the week. So
well, we'd be willing to pay you $10,000 for your testimony.
Well, I'm on SSDI. I got to be careful. When we do that, we got to be very careful because that on SSDI can only get a certain amount per month.
Right.
So
are you talking about like benefits?
Well, I'm on SSDI, which is Social Security Disabled Income. If we get over a certain amount.
Yeah, this wouldn't count as income, so that wouldn't be affected.
Would not.
Yeah, it would not be affected.
I would not get my pants pulled down. Is that what you're saying, sir? Yes or no? Nice and loud.
Yes, that's correct.
But I'd have to get that in writing, and I'd have to do it in front of you to make sure that.
Yeah, we could schedule a day for you to stop into the court, and I could talk to you, and we could get this all signed up.
I hate courts, and the only day off I have is Tuesday, but I usually have a group between 12 and 1, and then I have a counselor that comes up here. So I don't know when I could do it. That's the only thing. And my sister's a power of attorney.
All right. We might be able to have someone come to you, an associate of the court.
Or if you do it up here, we keep it down low.
Yes,
I would prefer not to go. I'd prefer not to go in the courtroom because I have bad memories of a court.
Right.
It's nothing against you, Your Honor.
Right, of course.
Now, because the manager lives here, when you come in, don't be too nicely dressed so people don't know what's going on.
We can have that manager fired in an instant. I have people that are on the zoning board.
Oh.
So if the manager puts up a fight about it, we'll have that manager fired in an instant. That manager will be packing his bags or her bags. I don't know.
So his pants be pulled down real quick.
Instantly. Instantaneous.
So his pants his mouth will be shut, is basically what you tell him.
Yeah, either he, cooperates because this supersedes whatever little authority he has at his apartment complex.
I just wanted to make that perfectly clear.
Yeah, that man would be chloroformed and out the door in seconds.
No joke.
No joke. We have a lot of power here at the court.
Wow, yeah. Because Tony wanted me to help, but because of the background, I couldn't really do that because of my charges. It would be held against me.
Right.
And then when Mark retired, that was my liaison through the police department. I have no one in the police department that I can trust to catch my drift.
Right.
Because Mark retired, I think, right around Christmas. Does that make sense? The 22nd of December.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I was going to do it, but the problem was that with everything going on, Tony wasn't keeping me updated with Blaine. So it was all circumstantial evidence. Catch my drift?
With who?
Well, no, with the case that you're talking about with Squidward and them.
Right.
So if you came up here and you did it, you'd make sure that would never come up, ever.
Yeah, never.
In writing, with your personal signature, down the road, if I needed to go with this protection, I could. Correct?
That's correct.
And that Squidward and them would never go after me. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. Where should we send someone?
Well, I want to be careful because Joe is the nosy one here, so you'll be better off coming yourself.
Okay, who's Joe? Is he the manager?
Correct. Yeah, no, he minds his business. Okay?
Okay, yes. All right, well, if he puts up a struggle, we'll have him fired and charged with a fake crime.
So you're saying the less people know, the better.
Yeah, that's right.
Because what was happening on the YouTube, I had to get off the registry, and then I had to go into a class because all this stuff was on the YouTube that we couldn't get off, and I didn't realize someone didn't get my permission and put it on there.
Right.
So we're trying to get that off because now that looks really bad to catch my drift.
Right, of course. Yeah, I think it's hold on, let me see if I can find what you're referencing in the computer.
Right. It should be YouTube.
Yeah, it says something about a bottom-in training program.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay.
And
yeah, it doesn't
I
look
didn't
like
realize
any crime was committed.
What?
There was no crime committed in that.
Right. But at that time, I did not know that.
Right.
Because my sister, Ann, has a power of attorney. I had to go in to a program over the phone on where I if I didn't go there, I was on the streets, and I didn't want to be doing that.
Right. I'm also reading an incident here. They're saying that you were removed from the condo for some period of time.
Yes, sir.
What happened there?
This stays between you and I, sir?
Yes, that's correct.
What is your first name, Your Honor?
Daniel. My last name is Wrenn. W-R-E-N-N.
Okay, a friend of mine, Eric Michael Young.
I know that guy.
What?
That guy's also listed in the case here. He's under investigation.
For what, sir?
Well, I can't say too much, but it's in relation to the Dave and Robert case. Apparently, he was working with them.
Oh,
They claimed
you did tell me
he's the owner of the YouTube channel.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So Eric had come up here to use the shower. Eric and I went down to the the trash thing. I thought there was inappropriateness, so I got removed for a month or two. And then had to come up where I could have no one up here, if you catch my drift.
So you're not allowed any guests?
I didn't hear you.
You're not allowed any guests?
That's what I'm saying, Your Honor. Correct. Because I could be on the streets. Because my sister's a power of attorney.
Okay. There's also another person mentioned in the case. Apparently he's a roommate of yours before. His name is Al.
Al has a stroke. We don't know where he is, Your Honor.
He's actually in the jail, sir.
How old
He's
is
in the House
Al?
of Corrections right now. I believe he's in his late 60s. I don't have it up right here.
Is he in his 60s?
Yes, he is.
He's on the registry too. Did you know that, sir?
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, he's on here because he was working with Dave and Robert.
Didn't know that.
Apparently,
his last name.
Apparently he was. Apparently, according to them, or according to Eric, because Dave and Robert wouldn't say anything. Eric said that he was having Al run surveillance on you when you were living together.
Okay. And his last name is Al Linetsky.
Yeah, he was apparently, according to Eric, he was recording you 24/7. He had a camera in your bedroom.
Didn't know that. Okay. I no longer live up on 139, Your Honor.
Right. Yeah, we've charged Al with federal wiretapping violations.
Right. Well, Al also had a stroke too, Your Honor. He just got to the hospital a couple months ago.
Yeah, he's he's in the special ward for older people with health issues.
Who knows that he's in the jail besides you and I?
I'm not sure. I don't know who he's called. I don't know if he has any family or anything.
The only family that he had would be me, sir. No, he had no other family.
Okay. Yeah, so then probably not many people know.
So we're going to keep it that way.
Yeah, it's a very under wraps case right now. We're not issuing a press release just yet.
Well, I don't want it done at all, is what I'm saying, especially with his background.
Right.
Because if that gets out, then that wouldn't look good on both ends, if you catch my drift.
Right.
See, I didn't know that I was being taped because no one would give me legal consent on that.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, they were. Apparently, he had a Wi-Fi camera set up.
Who else knew besides this?
Well, Eric, Al, and Dave and Robert were all working together.
Wow, and I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, they've been working together for a while. As it turns out, Dave has also been arrested on animal cruelty charges. He had a monkey that was it's not legal to own a pet monkey.
Because you had to go through the courts to do that.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to go through the court that you just mentioned. Because in certain places you cannot have animals unless it's illegal, correct?
Owning a pet monkey is not legal in Massachusetts.
Is not.
Is not.
Right. So Al is in the House of Correction, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
How long has he been in there, Your Honor, between you and
I? We just picked him up about a week ago.
And where'd you pick him up between you and I? Just curious.
We caught him doing his grocery shopping. We caught him at the Walmart on Tobias Boland Way.
Because he just had a stroke. I'm surprised that he would even remember what he was doing. Had a stroke since last April. Are you sure it's the same Al? Sure it's not a
we found out he was actually faking the stroke to try and get prescription painkillers.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that Al is a shifty guy. He was trying to deceive the doctors into prescribing him pain medication.
So Al was okay all this time he lied to people, is what you tell me. Basically.
Yeah, Al never had a stroke.
Ever.
Nope.
Is that,
We're also there's also another person in the case named Don that we're investigating.
another guy, yeah. What about Don?
Can you tell me anything about him? Do you know anything about him that could help our case?
I don't know enough about Don because I don't really know his last name. That's the problem.
Okay. Do you know what kind of stuff you would usually say?
Can you hold on for 1 second, please?
Yes.
Basically, when on the YouTube, I didn't know I was being taped. They had mentioned about the training. And when I said that, I said, you don't do that. And then the next thing I knew, it was recorded that I was in charge of the bottom training. I said, if you were going to do this, you had to do a sexual consent form. It's technically in math. You have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, of course. And
I said to him, if you're not going to do it, count me out of it. So what they did is they switched the terminology on that, Your Honor. And they hold it against me. I didn't know that.
What did they say? What terminology did they switch?
Well, okay. Just give me 1 minute, okay?
All right.
Yeah. The terminology that was switched is that they thought that I would be in charge of the bottom training on the chloroform. And I said, I don't think it's a good idea if you're going to do this because if you don't do it correctly, you can go to jail. And at first I thought they were joking, but then when Tony Weaver, the one you were talking about, okay.
Yes.
I had slowly got away from them, and I started blocking their numbers, so they didn't call me. I understand why I did that.
Correct.
So when I told them, Tony, to keep in touch with me of what's going on, and to try to stay away from them as much as you can, so you don't get yourself into trouble. Also, correct?
Correct.
So basically, hold on. So basically, what I told Tony.
Hold on, Jim. I'm getting another phone call, and I got to work on some case files tonight. But
all right.
You got my number here. You can just save it as Judge Wrenn.
Who told you to call me, Judge?
I just saw you on Plenty of Fish. You had sent me a message a while ago.
I didn't know it was you. That was my bad.
No worries.
So when you were doing this, that's why you called me so we can get this rectified. Because so the thing with Eric is that he had a case a long time ago that he was writing bad checks.
Right.
Because Tony brought it up to my thing, and Eric had got exonerated for that.
Right.
I believe that's not on his permanent record right now. And
all right. Well, Jim, it's been great talking to you, but I'm getting another phone call. I'm getting another phone call. Work on some case files.
Yeah.
But I will call you back sometime within the week. Okay.
And the best day to do it would be a Tuesday.
Yep. Not at all.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you, sir. You have a nice night.
Okay. Thank you, and God bless, sir. Bye-bye.
God bless. Goodbye.